Hello, my name is Brenton, and I serve as the Regional Impact Manager for the North Central region. I'm so excited to share the latest educational attainment data and the pathway for our region to create opportunities for all while doing our part to contribute to a statewide goal of 2 million by 2030. Most recent data shows that over 462,000 residents aged 25 to 44 in our region hold a college degree or an industry-valued credential. I'm proud to say that we're making progress, but there's still much work to be done. As you can see in this graph, a breakdown of our residents' attainment shows that we have 68,000 residents who have some college but no degree, and 122,000 who have only a high school diploma. Even with the progress we're making in our region, we still have a gap to fill, and not all counties are experiencing this attainment growth. To ensure our region remains economically competitive now into the future, we need 566,000 residents aged 25 to 44 to hold a degree or credential by 2030. This is our part, the North Central's part in the 2 million goal, and we currently are 103,000 away from that target. So, how can we fill the gap? To figure out where we are losing students along the education to workforce continuum, let's first look at our region's education leaky pipeline. Only 34 out of the 109th grade public school students in the North Central graduate high school on time, enroll in college on time, and then earn a degree or certificate within 6 years of high school graduation. This education pipeline shows a painful reality. Too many students are dropping out at different places in the pipeline, but it also gives us the data to determine where change and student support are needed most. Now let's walk through a student's journey, starting with academic readiness. Only 34% of our region's 3rd to 8th grade students are college and career ready in reading, and only 38% are college and career ready in math. These staggering outcomes are directly linked to high chronic absenteeism. Most recent data shows that 29% of our students miss more than 10% of the school days. That's over 1 out of every 4 students. And as we know, chronically absent students are much more likely to drop out of school. In the 2022 school year alone, over 2,000 of North Central's high schoolers dropped out. As a result, many of our students experience the first leak of the educational pipeline, and they don't even finish high school. On to the next transition point, college and career access. High school students in North Carolina have the amazing opportunity to earn college credits or credentials while still in high school, which can ultimately help to reduce an individual's cost for a college degree. They do this by enrolling in College and Career Promise, or CCP. In the North Central region, over 6,800 graduates participated in College and Career Promise programs. These students are opening doors for their future, whether it's college next or straight to a career. Another important step in college affordability is the completion of the FAFSA, or the Free Application for Federal Student Aid. This is required to unlock federal and state need-based grant opportunities, as well as many scholarships. During the last FAFSA cycle, 64% of North Central seniors completed a FAFSA application, which is higher than the statewide average. We're leaving money on the table for our region's students, so it's important that we encourage every student to complete the FAFSA as an important first step towards college enrollment. The last leak in the pipeline is workforce alignment. Our education systems must align with employer needs so students graduate with the skills required to fill higher paying jobs, and so employers have the talented workforce to meet their needs. Currently, only 59% of our region's 25 to 44-year-olds earn a living wage, or just enough to cover necessary expenses. In Lee County, for example, that would be approximately $33,000. To see the living wage threshold in all counties, scan the QR code shown on the slide. When students are not academically prepared and don't see a pathway to college or a career, they often become disengaged and begin missing school. Oftentimes, they end up dropping out and even disconnecting from society. In our region, there are over 31,000 young adults aged 16 to 24 who are not in school or working. These are our opportunity youth, and a staggering amount, over 1 in every 10 young adults, is disconnected within our region. Next, I want to show you why we need to take action now and work towards achieving our attainment goal. This isn't just important for the present, but it's also crucial for the future. By 2030, the overall population in our region is projected to increase to over 2.9 million, and it's expected to continue growing to 3.8 million by 2050. At the same time, our working age population, specifically those aged 25 to 44, projects a 30% increase between 2010 and 2030 and an increase of 20% from 2030 to 2050. We need to be prepared, and our local businesses, industries, colleges, and universities all need to be ready to accommodate the booming population. While not every county is experiencing this growth, employers don't care about county lines. So it's important that we have an educated and skilled workforce across the entire region, so we have skilled North Central residents filling and creating North Central jobs. Now let's look at the demographic shifts in the region from 2010 to 2050. In our region, the white population is projected to decrease by 5 percentage points, and our region becomes much more diverse. What does this mean? It means that if we don't act with a sense of urgency, we will actually see a decline in educational attainment levels. Data shows that 57% of the white population has a degree or credential, whereas only 25% of Hispanics have a degree or credential. With the Hispanic population in our region forecasted to increase and the white population decreasing in the next few decades, it's crucial that we work toward improving the achievement of persons of color. If we don't, our region's attainment will not only not increase, it will actually decline. While I've shared some staggering data, despite all the challenges we face, I assure you there is a path to prosperity for all of our region's residents. Why? Because of all of you. Our employers and residents need us to be successful, and if aligned and properly directed, we have the resources and the people to make it happen. We are fortunate to have strong public schools and a very robust education and training infrastructure, including all the colleges and the universities in our region. The workforce development boards and the councils of government that also offer multiple services for adults and youth and prepare the workforce in our region. As one example, we have a statewide initiative underway known as NC Reconnect. John M. Belk Endowment is leading this effort in partnership with myFutureNC. Our local community colleges, the NC State Belk Center, and the North Carolina Community College System. This collaborative project is to recruit adult learners with some college but no degree back to the classroom and help them complete what they started but never had a chance to finish. To assist with affordability, North Carolina State Education Assistance Authority provides a statewide FAFSA tracker to monitor and encourage FAFSA completions at each school. Last year, we collaborated with philanthropy and state agencies to coordinate the first ever statewide financial aid summit, where over 250 counselors, school leaders, and financial aid staff gathered to learn from subject matter experts and to share challenges and successes to ultimately help more students have access to an affordable education. As mentioned earlier, aligning the workforce with our education systems and training programs is critical. As such, we have partnered with multiple state agencies to identify needed workforce credentials, including the Department of Commerce, the Department of Public Instruction, the Governor's Office, and the Community College System Office, all working together with business and industry leaders to understand their needs and to offer training programs that lead to careers in demand that pay a family-sustaining wage. One of myFutureNC's strategic priorities is to identify and advocate for policy solutions. Our board has adopted the policy agenda shown here for the General Assembly's short session. Each of these priorities is supported by ongoing research from across the state and around the country, and they were developed alongside leaders from our education, business, and philanthropic communities. On the right side of this chart, it shows where these priorities were identified based on their potential to move the needle on one or more of the three areas in which myFutureNC is placing big bets: on-time enrollment and persistence, adult learner enrollment and persistence, and labor market alignment. These policy priorities are categorized under four headings: NC workforce credentials, access, persistence, and completion, local regional technical assistance, and partner support items, where myFutureNC has been asked to come alongside our partners on issues that we've advocated for in prior years and that need continued attention, such as NC pre-K funding, implementation of the science of reading in early grades, and implementation of career development plans for North Carolina K-12 students. Looking at the chart in front of you, we are first excited to build on the success of the NC Workforce Credentials Initiative, which has identified more than 150 short-term non-degree credentials that are industry valued by North Carolina employers, meaning they connect to strong employment opportunities in high-demand, high-growth jobs that pay a family-sustaining wage. In order to build on that success, we'll advocate for the work of this initiative to be supported permanently within the Department of Commerce and for more financial aid to be provided to students pursuing industry-valued credentials. Non-degree training is not currently eligible for federal Pell or state need-based grants, and students often cannot afford this training even though employers need workers with these credentials. We'll be asking for increased support for work underway to develop a warehouse to better track employment outcomes tied to these credentials. Second on the policy agenda is access, persistence, and completion, where we'll be advocating for targeted assistance to help students persist and make it across the finish line to their credential or degree. Our third policy recommendation is for local regional technical assistance, where we'll be advocating for funding to support grants that can spur local innovation by leveraging cross-sector community collaboratives. We invite all of you to join us in our advocacy efforts this year in whatever way is the best fit for you. And as always, we hope that you'll consider us as a resource. We're always happy to come alongside you in your efforts to engage your community in support of educational attainment. I want to close with what gives me hope. You do, and our students do. The leadership, the strong partnerships, and the passion in this region coming together and collaborating and aligning our resources toward a common North Star, keeping students and employers at the center of everything we do. This keeps me going and it gives me hope. The future of this region depends on our collective success, and we cannot afford to fail. Shown here are just a few examples of the cross-sector collaboratives underway all across the North Central region. It's my honor and privilege to serve the North Central region and to work with you. I now offer up a challenge to each of us to turn this important mission into a movement for our region and our great state. Our students and our businesses are counting on us. Let's all ask ourselves, what can we do together that we cannot do alone? And then let's act. With every key stakeholder working collaboratively and aligning efforts towards our region's North Star, we can and we will meet our region's goal of 566,000 and the state's attainment goal of 2 million by 2030. In doing so, we will improve the economic prosperity of our residents, our employers, our region, and ultimately North Carolina for generations to come. Thank you, and I look forward to doing this work with you.